Welcome back. We've come behind the scenes on Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Everywhere you look, there's some form of magic, the darkest of which has its roots in the orphanage at the end of this street, which is home to the young Tom Riddle.
I must admit to some confusion upon receiving your letter, Mr. Dumbledore. In all the years Tom's been here, he's never once had a family visitor. There have been incidents with the other children, nasty things. Tom, you have a visitor.
Tom Riddle grows up to become the most evil wizard of all time, Lord Voldemort. Yet his first encounter with Dumbledore only hinted at the darkness that lay within.
There's this little boy in a sort of nursing home or a boy's home, and I go and talk to him, and he seems to be odd, and he's played by Ray Fiennes' nephew.
So the actual Voldemort?
So the actual Voldemort, the young man's been played by his nephew. I think it's brilliant.
When you're casting for kids, you turn every stone, you look in every direction. And Hero had done a little bit of acting before, and I was aware of him, so I thought he was an interesting kid and got him in to have a go.
You're the doctor, aren't you?
No. I'm a professor.
I think that why these films have been so successfully cast is because they're always cast for the right quality and for no other reasons. Hero is a great kid and a really good actor, and he was the right kid to play the part. The fact that his uncle is Ray Fiennes is neither here nor there. He got the part for him, Hero, completely on his own merit.
She wants me looked at. I think I'm different.
Well, perhaps they're right.
I'm not mad.
Hogwarts is not a place for mad people. Hogwarts is a school. School of magic.
It was the day job of Dave Legino that made him an intriguing choice when casting Greyback, one of Voldemort's henchmen.
It was really interesting with Dave because when I met him I did think you're just a lovely gentle bloke, but then when I talked to him about his life and his other career, I suddenly thought maybe you're not quite as gentle as I think you are.
Just explain what you do day to day, what your everyday job is.
Well, I'm a cage fighter, a professional cage fighter for the past 2 years.
Which, for anybody that might not know what cage fighting is, it's exactly what you say, isn't it? There's a cage on a stage, and you go in and you fight.
You go and so 2 men enter, and 2 men leave as well.
Yeah.
So that's,
yeah.
And, but mixed martial arts is a proper term for it, where all the combat sports in the world are combined, and you can use any technique you want.
What Dave has is an ability to switch his head to a certain angle whereby he can completely understand someone who's as ferocious and mercenary as Greyback the werewolf.
It's an extraordinary character. Tell me about Greyback. Who is he and where's he from?
Well, he's an untransformed werewolf. He feels like he's an outcast, and he's shunned by society through being a werewolf. And so rather than wanting to join in with them, he wants to infect as many people as possible, especially young children, so they grow up and being a werewolf becomes the norm.
I'm told he's a world champion kickboxer.
That's right, cage fighter, yes.
So I sort of...
In real life?
I've met him. He seems quite an amiable man, but I didn't go too near him. Close. He looks terrifying. He looks like a sort of a shark, that sort of dead-eyed.
Piercing.
And so I stayed well away from him.
He's a big, tough guy. I could have him, you struggle.
Yeah.
But I've almost no idea what the guy actually looks like.
Seriously?
I've only seen him once.
It doesn't matter how close you get to Dave, you can't tell what's real and what's not. Even though I've met him in the flesh and he's a lovely guy and a very handsome chap and all the rest of it, I cannot look him in the eye when he's fully robed up.
Really?
No, it's terrifying.
But off screen, these two have actually found something in common.
Well, I've become friends with Tom. I tell people I've got this, little blonde in my trailer, but it's actually Tom Felton. And we sit there, we both play guitar on a night shoot.
So there's him dressed as Draco, you dressed as Greyback,
and I've got
strumming a little bit of...
harmonica harness around my neck, singing some Lynyrd Skynyrd. Yeah, it's good.
That's an interesting image.
Yeah.
Not quite the Death Eater to be and the angry sort of mercenary.
No, it's a bit of a surprise. Because he's such a nice guy, because I saw him in the other films, I thought, oh, what a little rat.
Yeah.
Horrible snide. But he's really, really pleasant, and he's changed his hairstyle as well.
He has. That's acting for you, isn't it?
It's amazing what they can do.
Which of us don't tell us?
The film sees Tom take on a significantly increased role as Draco Malfoy is given a disturbing task to perform.
For Malfoy, this film, actually, he's the flip side of Harry in a way, because he's become the chosen one. Voldemort's chosen him. So the force of evil versus the force of good is mirrored in Harry and Malfoy being the chosen one.
He doesn't have half the heart of Harry, and admittedly it's quite a different scenario he's found himself in, but it's a tricky one, and sometimes he's all for it, and other times he's petrified at the thought of it, so he's back and forth quite a lot.
Draco's mother and aunt, Bellatrix Lestrange, are so concerned for his well-being, they enlist the help of Professor Snape, played by Alan Rickman, to keep a watchful eye on him.
Professor Slughorn, sir. I just discovered this boy lurking in an upstairs corridor. He claims to have been invited to your party.
Okay, I was gate crashing. Happy?
I'll escort him out.
Is he quite daunting to work with?
It's endlessly daunting. I mean, we've been shooting today with Alan, Helena and Michael all on the set at the same time, so...
How do you deal with...
Daunting isn't the word, Ben, yeah, to say the least. I revel in it. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's the equivalent to watching, if you're a football fan, it's like going to watch your team live in the flesh. It's not only do you get to learn endless things, it's just a joy to watch them.
Whilst Draco's busy unsettling the peace, he's missing out on all the fun. But Ron is more than making up for it.
He gets a lot of action in this film, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does actually, yeah. He gets Lavender. Jessie, she's really nice.
Tell us a little bit about Lavender.
Oh, Jessie Cave just brings her to life in the most deliciously unpleasant way. She's one of those girls who is like a leech.
Of course I'll wear it.
She has a crush on Ron, and she gets him in her mitts, and she won't let him go, and she's really fun, you know, annoying and fun.
Becoming the girl who gets to kiss Ron was quite an experience for actress Jessie Cave, who plays Lavender.
It was so amazing, because I honestly came away from it being, if I don't get the part, I don't care, because I've had a screen test.
And that was exciting enough.
It was, because it was almost, you know, you had 5 minutes of being, you know, as if you had got the part, because you were fully in costume and you were on a real set, but also we had to improvise, which was...
With Rupert?
Yeah, straight away. So we didn't even do any script bit before, and you just went straight into an improvisation.
And what did you have to do?
I just had to be, you know, Lavender. And Ron was sitting on a sofa reading, and I had to just go bound up to him, and that was it. And so basically, within 2 minutes of getting there, I was told, right, just improvise. And so I had to come out of the room and go into the Hogwarts common room, and I was just like, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing yet.
I said, Rupert, do you mind doing some improvisations with 7 different girls, all in about 3 hours? You know, and they all have to sit on a settee with you, and they all have to be your girlfriend, and they have to kind of, it might get quite physical, Rupe, and you know, some of them are very pretty, and would you mind? And he sort of thought about it for about a second.
So you would be sat in the room, and this girl who'd never met you would have to come in and improvise as if she was Lavender, and...
Yeah, that's right, yeah, it must have been quite nerve-wracking, but
Did any of them try and kiss you?
No, they didn't, no.
They're not?
No, it was just, I think they were quite nervous, but no, it was quite, it sort of brought me back, sort of reminded me of when I was auditioning. It is quite a scary experience.
You know, when someone who hasn't done much acting before comes into a room and it's Rupert, Rupert's quite famous, obviously, and a lot of you know, young actors get a bit, starstruck, but he was brilliant with them, and there was just a natural chemistry between Rupert and Jessie.
I was really nervous actually, because it's quite a scary, really uncomfortable feeling, because the first one we did was in the dormitory after the Quidditch match, and the whole room was full of people, and I was standing on this like plinth, like this little stage, and no, it was quite scary. But I mean, once we sort of got into it, it's fine.
But the course of true love never runs smoothly, and not everyone is happy with Ron's new status as a love god.
Lavender was the catalyst in making Hermione realise that she actually does have feelings for Ron, and Ron finally being like, yeah, I am attractive, and you know, I can get a girlfriend if I want to get a girlfriend.
I think Hermione sort of views Lavender as though she's kind of another species. She doesn't quite understand what Lavender is or how possibly Ron could be attracted to her.
Excuse me, I have to go and vomit.